Fixed it up. Stand by for bickering. Yes, we are starting with bickering. But
Okay.
either way, welcome, and I am Oberon.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TFT. Tarot for today. Divine Dabblings with him and me, Banshee.
Bicker guy.
Bicker guy. I thought you were going to start with a song, Mr. O.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Oh, dear.
I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna
Did I
feel
forget to
that
say?
you belong.
Did I forget to say hi to Carl? I meant to say hi to
Welcome
Carl.
to my nightmare. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's my nightmare when he's singing.
It's a never ending nightmare.
The never-ending story of
Hi,
living with
Nimrod.
Mr.
Hi,
O.
Fiber. Hi, Carl. Hi,
Hi,
Cherry.
everyone.
Jackie, Lena, all of you guys, Libra, Jebuson.
I tried to say hi to everybody at one point. I got the list getting ready there, just waiting to see if anybody else pops in, like Kara.
Well, if you're new, or just because we want to say it, this is happy hour where we pull one card for everybody in the chat room. It's a positive, possibly divine message for you for the day or for the week.
And of course, we start with a card for the collective, and it's always good news with the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed.
There it is.
All right. All right. Well, well, well. Hey, we got the Hermit card. My favorite card in the tarot. My card, the Hermit.
Strange magic. Oh, I got a strange
I
magic.
wish I could hide in a cave
Kinda
right now.
strange magic.
Anyway, well, look, the Hermit says it's time for a time out. Sometimes it's necessary to take time out for regrouping and introspection. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for my growth. When I step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, I have a clear perspective on everything in my life. We all need a little downtime, don't we? Well, we're not just meant to work from sunrise to sunset 24/7, 7 days a week. It's just not right. And you need to take some downtime and regroup, refresh, reinvigorate yourself. Also stir up those creative juices once more. And give your intuition time to connect with you, right?
Right. And you are on the list, or you should be, Cherry.
Oh, well, you just came a little while ago. We'll get you on the list, Cherry. Hi there.
If you're in the chat room, you're on the list.
Yep.
Of course, there still is some fungibility to all of that. I like that song too, Fiber.
I haven't posted the list yet because we just got started. And because we're down here today, because of the heat that's continuing,
Yeah, it's too warm to do it upstairs in our other studio room.
Sunny is
So,
here to give us even more happiness to our day.
yes,
Hello,
as well as
Sunny.
falling cat hair that tickles my nose and makes me sneeze.
Yes.
No, don't be sorry.
All right, let me post the list as I have it, and we'll see if I've missed anyone. There we go. So that's what we have for the collective. Did you have anything else to add about the hermit there?
Run and hide.
Right.
Run and hide.
Especially when Mr. O starts singing. Okay.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Ah, that's true. That is true.
Where's Kara indeed? You know, we talked to her about this.
Kara will be here, I'm pretty sure, unless she has slept in. All right, because she has done that on occasion. But
All right, so first up is Jefferson. Good day to you, kind person.
you get to join us for happy hour, Sunman. I'm sure you're thrilled.
Yes, that's correct, Jackie. That's pretty much how it goes.
It's like her alarm clock.
And I'm hating that. I'm like, why do you have that psychic link with Sunny?
Well, it's we women cat whisperers, right? Right? Yeah, yeah. Got a little
That's
dog
right,
by your
because I'm the
leg.
one that has to take him to the dreaded vet.
Well,
He never
he
likes me
weighs a
because of that.
ton.
Well, there is that too.
He looks pretty, he doesn't look too overweight, but
He's a
he
big cat.
weighs a ton.
They're long.
They're
All of them,
long.
well, with the
Yeah.
exception of Sassy, are long. They're just
Yeah.
humongoid. All right, Jefferson, happy hour to you. It's the Four of Wands.
Oh,
Maybe you're going to be
nice.
invited to a party,
Yeah.
but even if you're not, or no social occasions on the horizon, this card means that there's a family feeling going on. There's a feeling like something that's larger than you, but also very, very welcoming to you, that you feel like you want to share your energy with this crowd of people or with this situation or whatever it is. It could also be about, the idea that maybe there might be a family or some sort of celebration that promotes happiness and togetherness that you may go to. But in general, this is a very good omen.
It is a very good omen. It could mean that you may have a reason to celebrate next week. Something might happen that'll bring you joy and you'll want to celebrate, whether with yourself or others. Hey, it's fine to throw a party for yourself. I do it all the time. So,
Yeah, and you don't invite me.
no, a party of one, but but it's always fun to celebrate with others, and it's always good to celebrate others' successes with them too. There's an energy exchange that goes on there, and I feel like if you celebrate others' success, soon success may come to you. It's just that way. So, enjoy some good times. This is, I don't know whether it's summer where you're at, but, make this a season of celebration and joy.
All
That's
right.
what we have for you. Good luck with that. That's a great card to start the show off, I must say. All right. So
Okay,
we are
Libra.
Libra. Hi, Libra.
Happy hour Saturday to you.
Right. There we go.
I've had that effect with some cats or dogs, that a friend's dog seems to really love me. It's more with dogs and cats, which is funny because I like dogs, but cats are what fit our lifestyle here. But sometimes somebody's dog will just really gravitate towards me. And I grew up with a lot of dogs. My parents always had dogs around the house up until the very end, literally. And I just always loved their dogs and gravitated towards dogs.
Well, I had one dog growing up, and then we had a dog for a while. It was a stray.
Well, we had two, remember?
Yeah, we did have two. Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
That one was just nippy, though. We had to do,
That one went out the door quicker.
yeah. But the other one ran away because the other one was a stray we found, and it was just a roamer, I guess. Eventually, it got out again, and it ran, and we could not find it. But we had it for a while, and
Well, we actually believe the crappy neighbors next
let it out.
door scared it and it jumped over the fence, or they somehow let it out
Yeah,
and it never came back. It was very sad. Our son was young and it was his dog and he was really upset over it.
yeah. Well, because you guys found it together.
Yeah. But that he has a dog now, Chase
Yes,
or
and we were
Chance.
supposed to go
Chance.
see it, but it's been so hot. We
I'm not
haven't been
going out there.
going anywhere.
Too
Yeah.
hot.
Hopefully, 4th of July will be a little bit cooler because he's having a barbecue.
You can hope.
They may have to shift the day again. I hear storms might be in the forecast for the
Libra
4th of
cuss.
July. Libra, wow, we have another one, another wand. Wandapalooza. It's a Queen of Wands. And look at her starting those fires. Lighten those candles. Right now you could be a force to be reckoned with in a way, Libra, this week ahead. You are somebody who will have a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and people will find that kind of contagious. We like it when whatever's going around is is not going to harm people. In other words, something like enthusiasm is contagious rather than a cold or COVID or whatever. You want people to catch that fire that you're feeling right now for something in your life. And people are going to be drawn to you in this week ahead.
Indeed, it's true. The Queen of Wands is an incredibly dynamic personality. So maybe this edge is coming to you today. You might feel very empowered to be yourself in a dramatic way, to show your energy, show your bravery, and feel a confidence that maybe you don't always feel directly. Like this is just really saying, I know I, Libra, know I can do this thing. I know I can do this. And so it's really you filling yourself up with all of that energy and challenge that you accept.
Yeah, and I think
You
here,
go.
right, and also if you are for any reason with people in front of people in this week at events or whatever, you're really going to sparkle and shine. People are going to be drawn to you. This is a time where you can make a really positive impression on others. So good luck with that.
Good luck, Libra.
And we're on Jackie.
Yay, Jackie. Could I have the duck?
Yes. Mhm. You may. Well, maybe Kara's forgotten.
Sleeping.
Maybe Kara's so used to us doing it upstairs, she doesn't think Sunny will be here. So
Oh, so she only comes for
I think
Sunny?
she only comes for Sunny.
Well, I'm going to remember that.
I know that's not true. I know that's not true. Kara, don't get angry
It's
at
not
me
true
if you're
either.
listening from the shadows.
What do we got for Jackie?
But Sunny is the star. Who's the star? Aren't you, Sunny? Yes, you are.
Jackie, it's a traffic light, but it's about to change to green. And that means you're ready to go, Jackie. This is saying really maybe you have pulled something together. Maybe it's eliciting, cooperation or help from some other people. They may be people you work with normally, they may be other people, but something seems to have gestalted for you, like it's sort of a thing coming together and finding that they do have some particular task or mission, and you're probably going to be the one to lead the charge. All all signs are go, so move forward pleasantly into this direction. It's an expression maybe of something also creative or artistic, as well as maybe something really functional that can help you or others.
Well, that green light comes because of others, because of working with others, because things just seem to be going more smoothly, in your relations with others or your working relations with others right now. Everybody seems to be on the same page. Everybody knows their assignment, and everybody wants to work towards a common purpose. So anything you do this week that has to do with that, working on something with others, sharing some experience with others is going to turn out really well. And should bring some happiness along with it. This is also, I think you maybe touched on this too, this idea that, with the three here, it's possible here too that something that you do or create or present in the week ahead will be received well by others. You will look good. People will respect you because of either your talents or your abilities to get something done. So good luck with that.
All right, Jackie. And Lena
Lena's
is
up.
up. And while we're waiting to get to that one, I'm going to just mention that we just completed 4 episodes in the last month. Well, we're still in June. for Goth Tarot,
I
and we
need
were
to
dealing
learn to
with
show
the
something.
shadow concepts behind betrayal. So next Wednesday, we're starting off again with a new topic. Banshee will join me, and we will work on that, hopefully bringing some clarity to people who may be dealing with another shadow issue.
That's right, it's the beginning of the month. Time for more Banshee does shadow work.
Be scared.
Yes, be afraid, be really afraid. So I just recently bought 3 decks from an indie creator, and one of the decks, one of the tarot that I really like is missing a card, but they're very good at replacement, and so I expect to get one shortly for that deck. But I have this adorable one called the Magic Pantry, which is about food, and I really like it. So you'll probably see that one soon for me somewhere. And also, I wanted to add while I'm shuffling here slowly that I chose the card for the cards for the collective this week, the Unbridled Spirit Tarot, which you've seen a bit on on our live shows. And that's a relatively new deck, and it's really very horse themed. And when you come to think about it, the tarot has always given horses a prominent role in a number of cards. Obviously the court cards, but then there's the chariot, death rides a horse. So horses are prominent. And so horses are given center stage in this deck. So I hope everybody enjoys our cards for the collective for the next 2 weeks.
Hello, I'm Mr.
Karen,
Ed. A horse is a
we
horse,
do,
a horse, a
Kara.
horse. Hi, Kara.
We've been talking about you. It's all good,
But not smack.
but not too much smack.
Honest. Would I lie? Would I lie to you? Now would I say something that wasn't the truth? I'm
Well,
asking you, sugar, would I lie?
not
I
only
love
do you
that
have
song.
Mr. O serenading here, you've got
I
the
love
devil.
that song.
You've got the devil. But the
Devil
devil at
inside,
happy hour,
devil inside.
shows some of the more positive aspects of this card. And yes, there are positive aspects to this card because who doesn't want to indulge sometimes in some, pleasures that life offers us? Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel like you're committing some sort of cardinal sin just because you want to have a little good old fashioned fun. I mean, we're always too serious in life, and the devil offers us the opportunity to let a little bit of our wild side out, right, Mr. O?
I'm getting a different vibe a little bit, and
Oh,
normally I go with the
okay.
vibe like you got, but I'm also saying too that maybe, Lena, this is a time for you to look at and deal with situations that you feel hold you back, oppress you in certain ways, and maybe you should look for what it is that can liberate you from those situations or what it is that illuminates them so that you can see through those processes, whether they're codependencies or bad behaviors. But I think this is a card to say, clear out the clutter that holds you back, that limits you, that possibly challenges you to be something you're not really comfortable being.
And hopefully that'll make you happy.
And hopefully that'll make you happy.
Jeez, that was kind of deep for happy hour, but you know what? That is true. That is true. Sometimes what we need to do is let go of some of the baggage that is keeping us from being happy. And so
I
maybe
like your
that's what this
spin.
week is about. Wow.
I
Well,
like your spin.
good luck with that.
All right. So that was Lena.
That was Lena. And now we are on Namira.
Namira. Hi, Namira.
And I got Kara on the list.
Is this my shuffle? Right.
Uh, yes, mhm. Did I pull the devil?
Yes,
Yes,
you
I
did.
did. It was my bad.
Maybe it's time for. No, we don't want to pick her about that.
Time for what? Stand by for bickering. What? You just like to put that up. How come you don't have it on the other, or you do now? Do you have it on our live
I
show?
have to slowly migrate it to all the various camera views.
Well, I don't need it on my happy hour show.
Yes, you do.
Or I mean, on my Material Matters show.
Oh, well.
Stand
Only
by
if
for
we
bickering
bicker,
with the producer.
only if we bicker from our relative spots.
Well, I mean, you're
So
here
that
today to produce my show, but often you're not lately. So I'm doing it on my lonesome. So I'm not going to bicker with myself.
the produce is spoiled, we have to throw it out. Namira, believe it or not, I am focusing on your card. It's the Knight of Wands.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of wands lately.
Yeah, a lot of wands.
We need
So
our
that means
collective cards.
perhaps that, to some degree, there are things in motion that involve people making connections, people working on projects, people understanding relationships or moving towards relationships. The Knight of Wands, the person has a drum and they are using it to create an energy flow for themselves. And they're inviting everyone else to participate too. Maybe they're being guided by other forces in the environment, whether they're animal or other humans or who knows what. But the Knight of Wands represents movement towards something like an undertaking that involves your courage and charisma, but really feels like you are accomplishing something important in the realms of possibly enterprise or work or in friendships or networking.
Heroes unleash the monsters. So you know what, Namira, when I look at this card too, and you think about that drum,
Thank you.
drums just kind of remind us all of the heartbeat, right? That's why I think we all really resonate to the beat of drums because we have our own beat, in our heartbeat. And I feel here this this your heart is beating, in this week ahead towards something you desire. I mean, your heart is pounding because you want to go after something that's really important to you in this week ahead. And I think here's something that you're very enthusiastic about, you're very passionate about.
Did you have this card last week too? I know somebody had it and we were talked to them and they said, "Oh yeah, I have a drum or I like drumming." I
Okay,
don't
or
remember if
maybe
that
it
was you
was
or
in
not.
the reading we did for you on our live show, whatever the case
All
may
right.
be. This is a very, this is a card of following and pursuing what you're passionate about. And, doing that will really bring you the joy that you're seeking and the happiness. So, this is the universe telling you it's time to move forward with something on something that you truly desire. So, and if you've had this card in another reading and it's coming up again,
That's not the case,
okay,
but
okay, oh, okay. You say drum, yeah. So drums kind of also call people to action. When you think too about wars, for example, wars, didn't they in the past, in many years gone by, they had a drummer that would,
yes,
lead it, the troops into battle or signal
processions
troops.
basically.
Right. And so this is a call to action. It's a call to act.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So good luck with that.
I'm glad it resonates.
A
Thank
lot
you,
of
Nimrod.
positive things can come from that.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh. How did I do that? Okay, we are on Viber.
You're very welcome.
I'll get you the deck if
Thank
I
you
did.
too.
Is it mine?
Yes.
All right.
All right, fiber.
Okay.
And I'll mention that, of course, we're back tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. for our regular live stream. We will answer other questions, not just pulling a card and saying, be happy. So if you have questions, come and
Yeah.
we will try to pierce the veil and see what is the answer you need to hear at this time. So that's tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m.
Oh, I hope so, Fiber. Let's
No
go.
matter what card it is, we're determined to spin the good news.
She knows. She's always telling us, spin it. But no spinning required
Oh,
here,
thank you.
Fiber.
You know what? Sometimes it really just comes very naturally, Nimera. It just is what it is. Sometimes we do have to work at it a little bit,
And sometimes we bicker too much.
but we are dedicated to what we do here. We want to really reach people, and so we appreciate when we hear such things. All right.
No spin required, Fiber.
No, it's
It's
Vincent
great.
from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, it's not. Wah 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 wah. That's the theme.
He'll never
Okay,
forget
it's not.
that show. How come you never got the video collection of that show? You
Uh,
really like that show a lot.
I don't remember why.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well,
Oh, and it doesn't matter because we don't have a DVD
well,
player.
not anymore, but
We don't have to spin this one.
no,
No, it's
no.
really about the idea that you are courage and strength, and you know that the soft power works better. I mean, it's not saying that you don't have the need to be assertive on occasion or even a little bit aggressive, but you know the lessons of life and the lessons of love, and that you get more flies with honey than with vinegar. All of those truisms that we always say. This is about reaching into your own self and realizing that there's a gentleness that comes even in the wild with a lion or a bear or whatever, and all creatures can respond to gentleness, more or less, given the idea. I'm really spinning it, aren't I?
You're not spinning it. That's the truth of the
But you were
card.
like almost giggling
I'm
there.
laughing because, when you had to bring up your honey and vinegar thing, I'm thinking, and all those old man euphemisms that Mr. O uses.
I'm old.
So, no, you're doing fine, Mr. O. I'm focused on that heart she's wearing there because for
Yeah, I
you,
saw that
Fiber,
too.
this is a time for you to bring that heart forward now. This is where your strength lies in the week ahead through the heart, maybe more so than the head. The head is in balance here. There's a balance of energies here because she's operating from a heart level. And I've just been sitting here while he's been talking, and telling you his thing and looking at that heart and thinking that is the key this week. Operate and show your strength by by doing heartfelt actions, by not having to push anybody around, to get cranky or bickery with anybody, but to be, heartfelt in your interactions with everybody you encounter. And it should be a really positive week for you. So that's what I have. Good luck
Blessed
with
be,
that.
my friend.
And here you go. We're on Carl now.
All right, Carl.
Well, thank you, Fiber. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh my goodness.
Carl, you get our first repeat.
Well, this is interesting because we spoke with maybe while Fiber's being the good cop. I'm not saying you're being the bad cop here. I'm not.
You're being the pragmatic cop.
Right. You're the one who's, keeping everybody together, keeping everybody focused, on their role in the greater scheme of things. And so while Fiber is making everybody feel good, you're keeping everybody on track in a positive way. And so, everybody is more than willing to do their share, help out, do their part. They know their role because you are the one who's taking charge.
Well, Carl, because you are an electrician, you can just rewire these lights.
USB.
Hi, Victoria. You can just rewire the lights to suit your own advantage. And maybe that's the message deeper in the card here that, when it's time to go, you are the one who really provides the finesse, the skill, the determination, and the willingness to embrace all those other factors that you may have to deal with in order to put plans into motion or to proceed through ones that are already going to find accomplishment at the end of the day when the light returns to red.
Kind of a cool combination, you two. So I don't know if you're working on a community activity this week, if that's coming up, or whatever projects you may be working on. If it involves others, it looks like it's going to be a great week. So good luck with that.
Victoria, time has no meaning here. So you're like Schrodinger's, chat room guest here. You either are here or you're not.
You
We
are
don't
not
know.
early. You are not late. You are just right.
Just right. Oh, so it's Goldilocks. Well, you do
Yes.
have some Goldilocks, I think.
Did I draw that? You drew that.
Hmm.
That's right. I drew for fiber. Okay. All right, Cherry
All
B
right.
is up.
Our own fiber. Have a good one.
Hi, Cherry B. Yes, we're down here today with Sunny because it's too hot upstairs. We're getting a little bit of a break today, so we might go work out. It's 84 out today. And then it heats up again for the next couple of days. And then we're in the mid 80s for a little while, but I saw the July forecast and we're going to be above average a lot, apparently, in July.
And everybody that comes into the library where we work at, we always make that comment about the weather. And 3 out of 5 people will literally tell me, well, maybe it was only 5 people I talked to, but 3 of them said, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And I've heard that my whole entire life
It is
in
true.
Michigan and
It is
Detroit
true.
area. We're surrounded peninsula, by water. We're right near Detroit River. We have so much
The
humidity.
humidity, the dew point, it can be ooky here. Ugh. But I know that people like in
Share fiber. No, we don't.
I think Florida can relate to that. I've been in Florida a couple times for library conferences, and one time in particular, it was so heavy the air, and I'm just like, oh man, reminds me of Michigan sometimes. Uh-oh, Cherry B, we got some spinning to do on this one.
Cherry Blossom, we have the Five of Swords, which often is considered one of the worst cards in the tarot deck, but we're going to make it better.
Well, you know what? There is a positive message here. You want a happy week ahead? You can have one. But the best way to have one is to avoid conflict as much as possible, and possibly at all costs, because some of those conflicts could be rather heady. So, if people want to bring their dramas to you, the door is shut this week, okay? Don't get involved in other people's dramas. Rise above it. Rise above any kind of difficulties you may have in this week ahead, and you will have a happy week. So I'm just saying maybe something might come up, and you'll just say, hey, not my circus. Is that the word?
Not my monkeys, not my
Not my
circus.
monkeys, not my circus.
So, Cherry Blossom, we have to remind ourselves that, of course, the swords are about mentalisms, clarity, to some degree, of course, communication. And so this card is saying, be guarded about the communication you're hearing. The person, the critter that's whispering in the ear, we don't know. Maybe it's them, your deeper side trying to tell you, to avoid the conflict. I think that's what Banshee said too. This is saying, that maybe, things are happening around you, but you don't have to be involved in them. You can fly with the egos rather than groveling with, name your least
The
liked
worms.
animal, the worms. I was going to say worms. I was going to say worms.
All right. Well, though that's awesome, Mr. O. I think here too that that basically, so if somebody tries to get you embroiled in something, just say, hey, I'm going to take, my time in thinking about this one and just walk away from conflict. Some things in life are worth fighting for and standing up for, but some are not.
This
And so,
represents what may not be.
yeah.
And a lot of times, I guess it would just be very clear to say that the Five of Swords always seems to talk about maybe more than one person who can't quite get along with each other. You just need to walk away from that.
Good luck with that.
Good luck, Sherry B.
We are on Kara.
Hey, Kara.
Your draw for Kara.
Oh, okay.
You get to draw for Kara.
Thank you. It's something I need to think about too because I always get drawn into dramas, and it's probably my emotional
Sherry.
scorpionic nature. You're welcome.
Little her box.
All right, Kara. Spirit hurt you. It wants you to get that drum.
Is it back?
Yes,
Gosh.
that's so cool. Well, maybe literally the drum is coming sooner than you imagine, but if it's not that, it really is a sign that says there's energy that is flowing towards you now and that you need to sort of grab on and go with it. Make sure you know that direction, make sure you're in charge of that direction, but something is pulling you, and it calls on you to be brave. It calls on you to use your charm or charisma and your confidence in yourself to pour yourself into what this goal is, whether it's, the acquisition of the drum and how you will use it or anything else.
Well, it's really interesting, all these wands. And, I don't know, wands associated more with spring?
I thought it was summer.
Well, see, I always feel the wands are associated with summer.
Okay, I get that too.
And the reason for me is because, and especially prominent in this deck, is just all the fiery background. You got these
Sure.
oranges, you've got these reds, you've got this fire, and wands are fire. And so I think here, this is just a time to set your spirit on fire, Kara. This is like, okay, it's a call to action, but the drum really connects us spiritually to our physical bodies and what we want to physically manifest as well. The drum is a call for our spirit to engage, and engage in the movement that's needed to achieve our goals. And so I think here you're going to be working on something this week. I really love that drawing you sent us. We were cracking up about
I
that.
liked it. I think it's a very nice drawing.
Yeah, the was it an elf lady, right? Oh, fairy lady. And I just think here, if it's whether it's your passion with art, whether it's your passion with magic and the spiritual, it's time to set something on fire and move it forward.
You never know.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, that's what we have for you. Wow. So yeah, we even have a few ones coming up in the cards of the collective for next
You're
week
welcome.
as a spoiler alert.
Well,
It's going
unless
to be a
anybody else.
really interesting week next week with cards. So stay tuned for our cards for the collective.
Well, unless anyone else shows up, Victoria, you're next,
You are
and you may be our final.
never least.
We'll see how that goes.
Whoopsie.
She's walking to the beat of her own drummer.
Walk to beat of our own drum. There you go.
I'm trying to
That's
think of that
right.
song by Linda Ronstadt, and it's failing me. I can think of the tune, but I can't quite. You're all saved. You're all
Yay.
lucky.
I'm looking cautiously at him. What are you going to sing now? No. I'm getting
It's that I'm not saying you ain't pretty. I'm saying I'm not ready
already to think, getting my drum and Yule. Already thinking of Christmas or Yule gifts? That's cool.
for yourself.
Hey, it's the best kind of gifts. I just got 3 decks for myself. They're really nice. I can't wait to use one. Man, one is going to be so much fun. got something called the Threadbound Oracle, and it's based on books and writing, and it's really cool. I like it a lot.
Mr. O wants more coffee.
Man, she's still got just under half a cup.
Pokey.
I know.
The Pokey Puppy. Victoria.
Well,
Victoria,
what's
Victoria.
this? Sounds like business as usual for you, Ms. V. It's the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. It's another wand. Yes, we've had a lot today. And this one is, I know you've been just churning out the job applications and everything, trying to find work. Again, it's possible here that you're going to connect because all that energy seems to be pointing towards a target here. And communications are going to be picking up in this week ahead. And it's going to make you feel a little bit better about things, a little bit more optimistic. So I think here, there's a lot of energy and you need to focus it towards what you truly desire this week. So, I think you're going to, maybe possibly hit a target.
I'm going to go a little bit differently and say that this is about a lot of energy for sure, like you said, but that the manifestation points could be both or either or both. That maybe you are manifesting something, and so your energy is coming out to that, but maybe something that is manifesting is coming to you, and it's something that you want and can use, but you didn't necessarily bring it to you. It's just coming to you due to fate or whatever.
I can't rule out that this is not relating to the energy
I
you're
like
putting
that too,
into your
Victoria.
Buy Me a Coffee page. And by the way, everybody, Ms. Victoria has a Buy Me a Coffee page. And Victoria, you can feel free to post that
Post your,
information always here in the chat.
you know that.
Okay? So, and she's posting content there, regularly. So it could be also about that. Maybe,
Come on, everybody, buy her a cup of coffee.
yeah. So maybe something good is going to happen there as well. There's more people are finding that target, that mark that you have started here. So can't rule that out either. Wishing you luck with all of that. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I just like the idea that maybe, it's coming or it's going, but it's gonna be big.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Eight of Wands. It's really funny. I've always liked the Eight of Wands. I've always liked the Eight of Wands. And in a way, people have made it a lot more expressive in time since the Rider-Waite deck and just those wands all in a row. This is very expressive. It's like it's coming from all different directions, and your energy is moving from all different directions into one place. I really like that.
There's a number of ways to look at that, but they're all pretty valid.
So good luck with that.
Good luck, Victoria.
All right, we're going to throw cards for ourselves now since nobody else has showed. Do you want to make any announcements?
Um, well, perhaps. Don't forget to watch Banshee Show tomorrow morning. We'll be back live in the chat room for the recorded reading. It's for all the signs of the zodiac, and it pretty much gives you a good skinny on where you're going economically. Plus, there's astrological tips and other good, useful information. Banshee's Material Mornings at 10 a.m.
Material morning?
But yeah, well, the mornings are pretty material.
So, I wanted to also say that we are thinking seriously about doing an update for the U.S. predictions for the rest of 2025.
And guess what?
What?
Maybe we'll do it for July 4th.
We're thinking about this, so it might come out this week.
You're welcome.
I want to do a little research and look back at some of the things that we had said in that video, well, those videos, because I think the US one was part 1 and part 2, where we did a lot with different our relations with certain areas of the world. And it's going to be really interesting, I think, what we find, what came out and what hasn't. So we'll do a little bit of a recap and we'll see where we're going from here. I think it's going to be mostly the US. There will be some touching on the world
Yeah.
stuff
So
too.
that should be sometime next Friday, Friday, July 4th. For the States, that's Independence Day.
Mhm.
Oh, no kidding. Can you
Oh,
explain why? Is it a particular astrological thing? And Namira, you're very
you're
welcome.
all very welcome.
We're going to draw cards for each other, and then we're going to conclude with a namaste blessing for everyone.
Yep.
So if you like, you are welcome to hang out for that.
All right, let's see what I've got for Mr. O. One of these cards is really coming
Well, it
apart.
may be overlapping with the Mercury retrograde, Victoria. I wonder if that's what's going on.
Yes,
Interesting.
because I think Mercury is going retrograde on the 17th.
Ooh, and
I
that's like
think.
the day after what you're talking about. Yikey.
I have to spin it for Mr. O.
Uh-oh.
Mr. O. Why do you feel
I
so left out of things?
don't
Why do
know.
you feel nobody likes you? Come on,
Because they don't.
everybody.
Because they
Tell
don't.
Mr. O you love him, you like him. He's worthy.
We like
He's
you even if you're creepy
he's
sometimes.
part of the tarot tribe despite his scorpionicness. And there's no reason to think of lack anymore. You know, there is light shining there. There's a door waiting for you to open it.
Well, as you know, I have been thinking about what are the big changes in my life going forward. There are some things that I feel I do have to change and maybe, reduce what I'm doing in certain areas. And to some degree, that does put me into my own feels on my own. This may be reflective of me ruminating about what that means and where it will lead me. And hopefully, I won't be just sitting there on the outside looking in.
I like it. I like the spin. Okay, what do you got to spin for me, Mr. O?
A washing machine left on spin.
Maybe. I need to
Reminder, I have
wash.
laundry to do.
Well, not till I do the sheets. They must be done today. I'm already shuffling the Namaste blessings. Ah,
Thank you. That's a nice
nice.
interpretation too. I appreciate that.
I thought you were going to sing some song like, isn't there one about lonely girl or lonely some old?
Hey there,
Yes, that one, that one.
I can't sing that one.
I
All
know
right.
it's too high for him.
So I'm outside looking in. That's me in the corner.
Oh,
But
that's in the
but you are over there blooming. You're literally blossoming. You have taken
Yay!
you have taken something really close to you and figured out what it needs to grow, and you know where it's going to go. You know where it's growing. You know that it will bring you something really valuable. It is maybe more material linked, but that could also include your feelings of
The lottery?
security. Okay, lottery. Lottery works.
No,
Lottery
just
works.
kidding. Go on.
Well, no, I want you to go
Oh,
out and win the
please
lottery
go
now.
on and just expound on the great week I'm going to have.
You're going to have a great week because you're going to win the lottery every single day.
Ah, well, that's special. No, I like that. I have some ideas and I want to put them forth sometime in the near future. And I think I haven't planted that seed yet, but I think it's telling me it's time to plant the seed. So I think I got to do it.
A pair
Thank
of
you,
nuts,
Mr. O.
Victoria.
All right, one more shuffle, and I'm going to let him pick a card for us.
I told her we're a pair of nuts.
A pair of nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut,
Sometimes you
sometimes you
feel
don't.
like a nut.
All right. What you got there?
The spirits are about to speak. Are they friendly?
Oh, that one. I recognize it. So it is, and you can put the card out in a minute. The blessing of meditation. Ah, your window of perception is cleansed, and for a moment you see life as it truly is, infinite and eternal. Meditation will help you rise above any situation and event and see things clearly. What usually seems chaotic and disorderly can seem the opposite. Know there is a divine order in your life. Wow. Well, I've always expound on this idea of meditation or breath work too. I feel breath work has been really helpful to me over time. And I think that meditation too, we all need to really take time to empty our minds, just keep a blank slate there for a while, just for a while. Sometimes, this world today, everything gets cluttered up there. We need to create space for new ideas, for new imaginations, for new dreams to come forth.
Meditation doesn't have to be a precise kind of, ritual or ceremony you perform. Just sometimes taking the time to go into your own thoughts and just sit there in silence. And that's the hardest part, maybe, is learning to let your mind be silent. But it happens with practice. You can do this. You can do this just by sitting alone and letting your mind go blank. And whenever you feel you are coming into some sort of focusing of thoughts, pull yourself back again. Breathing is the key to this. When you focus on your breathing, you can empty the mind of those other thoughts, and eventually all of it just kind of processes to bring you to that state of mind. And there are a number of different breathing techniques that can help you reach these states too, or to find other purpose in them.
And I never realized for a long time how nuanced or how diverse breath work can be. I mean, there's so many different ways you can modulate your breath to for different purposes and reasons. Some to help you sleep, some to just help you relax, some to get you more focused. So I just never really realized all the different,
Some of our best
techniques to it.
experiences with this kind of thing was maybe when we were in a group situation and somebody, maybe it was me or maybe it was somebody else, was trying to bring everybody together on their breathing. And when that happens, and it's happened a couple times for us, it's a unique experience. You really feel some sort of numinosity. You feel everyone there. You also feel no one there. You can't explain it.
I also think some of my most profound experiences actually came after my cancer diagnosis because I started to get more focused on meditation and breath work and just trying to calm my spirit and my mind down, because your mind can take you into a lot of bad places when you are confronted with a crisis. So, I highly recommend it. I think it's really transformed me, and I think it can transform everybody. So good luck with that.
So just a reminder to watch us tomorrow during the Material Matters. It's a recorded video, but we are live in the chat room. Also later Sunday, we are here for our regular live stream show, 2 to 4 p.m. And we
Eastern
thank you very
Standard
much.
Time. Namaste, everybody. Have a great, happy week ahead. Enjoy the summer weather. If you like it hot, it's going to be hot for much of the
It's right up
country.
your alley.
So take care, everybody. Have a happy week ahead, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.